Srishti is getting us more details on that story. Srishti, just explain this to us as far as Harish Salve's arguments on behalf of SBI today is concerned and the CGI's response to that. Also, what is happening right now as we speak, Srishti?
Well, yes, Neha, as we just heard, Senior Advocate Harish Salve appearing for SBI is seeking time. He's justifying the extension that State Bank of India is seeking by saying that they need to make sure that the information that they now release, considering it includes crucial information regarding details of the donors, names of the political parties, they have to make sure that the details that they put out are correct. If any information is put out incorrectly, the donors involved could sue them. The Supreme Court, however, is very clearly saying that there's no question of the State Bank of India being sued is involved, considering it's the top court which has directed them to furnish that information. The Chief Justice of India, the Supreme Court, the entire bench, in fact, is coming down on the State Bank of India, saying that SBI is the largest bank of the country. Are they actually saying that they cannot furnish the information because they are having difficulty in matching information that are just in two different silos? According to the top court, their judgment, their verdict was crystal clear on 15th Feb when they asked SBI to furnish the information. No matching exercise was asked to be conducted by the court. Now, the Chief Justice has said that SBI, if they're seeking time, it's a very serious business that's happening. You're seeking extension, modification of top court's order of a constitution bench, which had set aside the electoral bond scheme. The CJI has said that it's a serious business, which is, it's a serious issue, and therefore, if they're seeking extension, they should have at least informed the top court of the progress that has happened till now. What is it that the SBI has done? Mr. Salve is constantly telling the court that some work has been done. They need some more time, and they'll be able to furnish all the information in the next 3 months, which is the time that they're seeking. However, the court has clearly said that why is the time being sought when crystal clear directions were given by the court? The SBI it's such a big institution, it's a big bank. They should have some candor, and if they were in fact approaching the top court seeking more time, they should have at least informed the top court. You can't simply just file an application seeking an extension and seeking modification of its Supreme Court's constitution bench judgment. You at least tell the court what is it that you've done, what are the information that you have. Not just that, the Supreme Court also said that the Election Commission of India has also given some information regarding electoral bonds in a sealed cover. The court has said that they will, in fact, from what we are hearing, they have in fact decided to open the sealed cover and go through the information that Election Commission of India has given to the top court. The CJI clearly told Mr. Salve, if the SBI is not giving the info, we can ask the Election Commission and see what is the information that the Election Commission has as far as these bonds are concerned. Now, the Election Commission Council also informing the court that they had also filed details of the electoral bonds which are available with the Commission to Supreme Court during the hearing, because even when the matter was being heard by the top court during the extensive hearing, Election Commission of India had handed over some information to the top court with regard to the electoral bonds and the details that they had with them. So clearly, this hearing doesn't seem to be very, very easy for the State Bank of India, because they're clearly not getting a very simple extension at the outset. Supreme Court has posed some really serious questions. They're asking the State Bank of India, what is it that they have done in the last few weeks since the court passed the order? They're coming now after the deadline or 2 days before the deadline, seeking an extension of a constitution bench judgment which had clearly directed the State Bank of India to furnish them information of the donors, the political parties and other information related to the electoral bonds. However, SBI is saying that the information that they kept, according to them, they were told that the standard operating procedure that they were following, the entire process that they were following, they were told that it has to be kept confidential. The idea was to not let the donor information out. The idea was to not let anybody relate the donor and the information of the bonds which were eventually issued. Because they followed that procedure where they tried to maintain confidentiality, now it will take the State Bank of India some time to be able to match the numbers, match the numbers of the donors, details of the donors with with the electoral bonds which are eventually issued and also thereafter redeemed. So according to SBI, because of the procedure that they were following to ensure confidentiality is maintained, anonymity is maintained, that process is now getting difficult for them. It is taking them more time to be able to get that information, to furnish that information. They're not saying that they will not give the information out. They are saying that they will definitely comply with the court's order, but they need 3 months extension. 3 months extension would mean an extension till June this year, which would also eventually mean that the information of the electoral bonds will not be out before the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. The contempt action which is also being sought against SBI is for the same reason. According to the petitioners, it's a deliberate attempt which has been made by the SBI, considering the timing when they've approached the top court right before the deadline. The timing is such before the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. It's a deliberate attempt which has been made by the SBI to somehow not furnish the information, so the voters will not know the details, will not be aware of this information before they vote in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. It will be important to see now whether or not the Supreme Court will eventually be persuaded by the arguments that are being made by the State Bank of India and Mr. Harish Salve, and whether or not the court directs them to furnish the information forthwith or grant any time in that regard.